think this is a good note for everybody out there.
He says that I don't pull well on TikTok, so
He doesn't. It's just a fact.
Me.
It just doesn't pull well. It's called social media for a reason, and it's not selfish media.
I just gotta clear something up. You weren't the 12th man on the field right now, right?
There is no easy way to get anything ever.
This is Mornings with Matt, the Deering Acting Studio podcast, where we discuss the connection between life and acting. They're touching each other because the connection is so good.
All right, I like that, Joey. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mornings with Matt on the Deering Acting Studio podcast. I am Matthew Deering, here with my man, Joey Sweeney.
What up, y'all?
And we're going to be talking this week about actions. So we went from thoughts to feelings, and now we're on actions, which is, by the way, an acting formula that I came up with quite a long time ago. So after this week, we will go into that formula.
So a little bit of a genius planning here going on is what I'm hearing.
Well, yeah, pretty much. All right, Joey, it is time for our daily devotional.
We should get it.
Today we've got Ezra 10:4. Rise up. This matter is in your hands. We will support you, so take courage and do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. That's right. Just do it. Rise up. This matter is in your hands. We will support you, so take courage and do it. The topic today is when to start acting. And I don't want to just, the obvious answer is now, right? but I don't want to just like make this a small thing, because I know for a lot of people it isn't a small thing when to start acting, because we get this question all the time, like, when should I start? And I'll get, parents are asking me when their kids should start, and I'll get adults saying like, hey, when's a good time to get started? And even we'll have older adults, or where they think they're older, and they say like, is it too late to start? And so the answer is to start now, really. But it's also, it's beyond that. So let's dive back into this daily devotional here.
All right.
It says, rise up. This matter is in your hands. So it's got to be your choice.
Yeah. Something's calling that person to ask,
Boom.
right?
Boom. There you go. That's exactly it.
Yeah. So it's about, if you feel it in your gut, if it's something you're being called to do, you should do it.
Yeah.
And then trust that it'll take you from there.
And it's saying rise up, which is like, have courage. To rise up is tough. It's hard.
Yeah.
Everybody's down, and you are the first to rise up. This idea, right? And so you have all these like cells inside of you, and they're down, and then you have to rise up. And what this is saying is the matter is in your hands, nobody else. So what's interesting is when somebody asks me, when should I start acting? When to start acting? You already know. That's the answer. That's the best answer I can give you, is you already know when to start acting, and it's now, or you wouldn't be asking. You just want somebody else to tell you that now is the time. Then after that, it says, we will support you, so take courage and do it. And what did I just say? To rise up takes courage. So when you take matters into your own hands, all of a sudden the people around you support you. Yeah, you'll find a whole brand new support system by taking action. Now,
I'll give you a specific example from one of our comments that I know will give you something
please.
to talk from. Linny Allen.
I love Linny. Hello,
She's
Linny.
like
Good morning.
the best. She said, I started acting classes at age 62 and will be 80 in July. I'm not done yet! Exclamation point. Hallelujah! Exclamation point.
Holy guacamole. Are you serious? 62
crazy.
years young. I cannot believe it's been 20 years since the great Linny Allen started acting. That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, Brian showed like one of those Facebook memories, and she was a student driver for Chaos.
Yeah. I'll never forget
like
that.
a
Here's
year
the thing:
ago,
people
last
have
week.
no idea what it means to start and to start acting. They have no idea what this means. Like Linny Allen and her husband Rusty Allen. These are two human beings that will forever have made a mark on myself, my family, this entire studio, forever. And this is just two people who randomly just decided, hey, we're going to take action. We're gonna start acting. And Linny specifically started acting classes, but Rusty supported her completely, wholly and completely, and they became just like the invisible power behind the studio while they were here.
For real.
Just by giving love, by donating time, by just being around people and just wanting to serve. I mean, it's just like an amazing story of how you have a bigger impact than you realize. But you got to take action.
For real.
You got to get in there.
And we talk about this a lot, the idea that our students are family, right? But I grew up coming to the studio for shows to watch you and Brian and just being awestruck. And Linny was always one of those people that was around all the time, and I genuinely considered her family, even though honestly I barely knew her. But she had friended me on Facebook and everything. She would send me birthday messages, and I'm like, you barely know me, but like I love you, you know. And that's the kind of impact it has when you take action. Is you're welcomed in, you know, you find your place. And I think that's a big part of it. I know the love that we have for her here, and I know it's mutual. So it's just one of those special things. You can't really put a price tag on it.
For sure. So when we say when is it time to start acting, here at the studio, we have our values, and that is passion, love, mastery. And our slogan is act with passion. Act with passion. So when we say when is it time to start acting, we're not just talking about becoming an actor. Because to act is to do. So we are saying do with passion. Like the actions you take, you should be doing them passionately. Passion, love, mastery. Passion is first on purpose because really you need to put your passion behind what you're doing always. It's very, very important. And then love is in the middle on purpose, because love is the center of everything we do here at the studio, and we want it to be the center of everybody that we're around, or we want to inspire them to at least strive for that.
Yeah. I'll just pull this up really quick. So this is the definition of passion, and it's pretty neat. So number 1 is a strong feeling or emotion. He spoke with passion. Number 2 is an object of someone's love, liking, or desire. Art is my passion.
Keep going. There's more. Passion is also about sacrifice.
Okay. Number 3, strong liking or desire. Love, she had passion for music. Those are the ones.
What kind of what definition is this? I am not liking this
from
dictionary.
the Webster's dictionary.
These guys are
online?
There we go. Okay. So suffering. There it is.
The
See
sufferings of Christ between the night of the Last Supper and his death. Dang.
See?
That's crazy.
Don't try to filter out the real definition. Sorry, Google. Sorry,
Dang.
Google. We're going to find it.
They really did, though.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's nuts.
Passion is suffering. That's what's interesting. You're going to do something no matter what, you're going to do it because you know it's right. You know you're going to do it because it's in your heart, right? So this is the passion of Christ who did this thing on the cross for us. It's the greatest sacrifice, right? So then think about, let's just go back to our boy Siebert, right? Mm-hmm. He's playing football professionally. Why? Because he's passionate about it. What does it mean to be passionate? To be passionate is to suffer, is to sacrifice. He sacrifices a lot of things in order to have the chance to play professional football. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. Time, muscles, aching, pain.
100%.
Everything, you know?
Yeah. And day in, day out, day in, day out.
For no guarantee.
No guarantee.
No guarantee.
Knowing that putting himself through the pain and the suffering might even end up, he could get injured. I mean, anybody could get hurt doing anything.
Yeah.
You know? But at the same time, he could get injured working out, trying to make it to the NFL, or he could get injured in a car accident on the way to the grocery store. Like, so there's no guarantees, of course.
Nope.
So the question is, how passionate are you?
It's a big question, everybody.
I can't believe they filtered that out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, no, dig a little deeper, Joe. You'll find the real definition.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so when is it time to start doing? When is it time to start acting? Well, the time is now. But what is stopping us? Probably excuses. Mm-hmm. So you want to think to yourself, all right, what is it that I'm telling myself? What is the excuse that I'm using that is stopping me from starting? Okay, and we're going to be talking about actions all week. So we're going to dig into the details of the idea of like starting small, and we're gonna dig into when non-action is actually action. That's a whole episode. We're going to talk about that. So there's a lot to this idea of taking action. But to answer the question, because that's where I want to start here, is like you're asking yourself, when do I start acting? Well, the answer is now.
Yeah.
Now, how do you do it? Okay, that's going to be a further discussions that we're going to talk about later throughout the week. But to take some kind of action, you want to start acting now. And don't let anything stop you. So I hear, like I said, we hear people asking, like, when will I be ready?
Yeah.
To start acting. And the answer is like, okay, well, what is it? Let's go backwards and say, well, define that. Let's take it into the actual acting profession. Mm-hmm. Define acting. Well, acting is, being in a movie. No, it's not. No,
yeah.
No, you got the wrong definition. That's not what acting is.
Yeah.
What is acting? What is acting? And when you finally boil it down, what is acting? You go, oh, okay. Like, yeah. So do that every day. You can do acting every day. You're asking me, when should I start being in a movie? Well, when you've earned it.
Yeah. And we've all got those stereotypes that have been pushed on us, right? So I for myself, for example, we're doing this play in masterclass, not this weekend, but next weekend. You can virtually or in person audit. But besides the fact, we're doing this play, and when I was looking it up and researching it and then listening to the audio version that Brian bought, Mark Ruffalo is my character. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. He's like the Hulk, and he's known now. He's affiliated with the Marvel brand because he took the role of the Hulk. And so I always saw him as a movie guy. And I'm like, well, apparently he did this way before. He was on Broadway doing this play. And I'm like, there you go. There's not one route. Did you
look it up when he did it?
I didn't.
I bet you it wasn't before the Hulk. Could have been.
I'll go grab my play.
Could have been.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you. So what's interesting about Mark Ruffalo? You see him as the Hulk. I don't see him as that.
Yeah.
Because I was a big Mark Ruffalo fan before he became the Hulk. He's just a good actor.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, he is a great actor.
And I don't know him as a person, so I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm a huge fan of the person. I just I'm a fan of his work.
Yeah.
Most of the Mark Ruffalo movies that I've seen have been like, they're good movies. So I appreciate his skill set as an actor. And so then when he got the Hulk, I was actually like, number one, A, good for you. That's cool. You earned it. And B, I'm like, good for Marvel for picking a good actor to play the role.
Yeah.
Because you want to always pick the person with the most skill, ideally.
Yeah. That's what's interesting too, is I feel like that's one movie where they got casting right, was just the Avengers movie. Like, they really picked great actors, which carried the whole connection of all of them, because they were able to mesh together. They all have a skill set, whether it's Robert Downey Jr., Tom Holland, Mark Ruffalo. Like, they're all working on other stuff too, but then they came together to make this movie for Marvel, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Because of their skill set and their willingness to work with one another. Like, it was neat.
You know who else I think was a good cast? This is like a total left-hand turn, but I finally finished up the Star Wars saga with Jack.
Oh, awesome.
We went through all of them in the last couple months. Is Kylo Ren. I think, when I first...
Adam Driver, yeah.
When I first saw him, I was like, well, like, who's going to get that? Who's going to... When they take off their mask, like, are you ever going to be happy with who they choose? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he seemed young at first, and I'm like, I don't know, and then whatever. And then as you really get into the storyline of it, he really hit the character, I think, really well. Played the conflict that is in there extremely well. And
Yeah.
I just love watching people do what they do very well and getting an opportunity to do it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think he did play that really well. I was definitely on the side of like, oh, this is terrible because he took off his mask. Like, I remember I shared a meme where it was like Disney princesses, and he was on there because he had his mask off.
Sure.
But yeah, in general, I feel like he did play that conflict very well throughout all the movies. Even when he killed his dad, you're like, oh, you can tell, like, it tore him up inside. And that's hard to do as an actor. Like, you really gotta...
Well, and Star Wars is, I mean, it's undeniable that it's this series about good versus evil. And it's this series about conflict, and it's this series about trying to find the light. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about spreading the light, right? So what does the mask represent? And that's what I really was kind of getting deeper into as you watch something and start to appreciate the deeper meanings.
Yeah.
You think, okay, well, what did the mask represent for Kylo Ren? It was intimidation, and it was a wannabe sort of.
Yeah. I was
Right.
about to say, it was like a representation of Vader.
Well, you're right.
And what did Vader do? Vader was a good guy, just like he was. He was grown into the light side, and then he switched over.
Right.
And became the biggest enemy.
But he was also a bad guy on his own without a mask.
Yeah.
He only wore a mask because he had to. Without the mask, he couldn't survive.
Yeah,
The
that's
mask
true.
was the thing keeping him alive. So the mask itself was not Vader's power. That's what's interesting.
That's true.
So then Kylo Ren is like, oh, I'm going to put on a mask is going to make me feel, just as powerful as Vader. And then whoever his superior, Snoke or whatever, is like,
Snoke,
take
yeah.
that ridiculous thing off. And so he mocks his mask. And then you see Kylo Ren smash the mask and destroy his own mask. And then he goes into battle and he gets the scar across his face, and it's like he's earned the mask. And he puts a new one on. It's a different one, and he's a different kind of bad guy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then there's the reveal of the mask again, back to Rey, which becomes like he's still loved even through his flaws, And then there's the idea of like there's still light in you. There's the choice. And a lot of people I listen to on various world issues right now have been just preaching this idea of love right now. And so I will continue what they are saying. I will preach love. Meaning if you disagree with somebody or somebody does something that you think is just not great, whether you know them or don't know them, or you see it and you're like, okay, this thing, we have an obligation to love. Not to judge, not to chastise, not to become like these people that are trying to be holier than thou, but just to love. Period. Like that is our responsibility, is to pray for them. If you think someone's hurt, like doing something that's horrible, well, then pray for them, because there's something going on inside them that's causing like this thing to happen, and they need extra love, like tons of it.
Yeah.
And that's how we change the world.
Facts.
All right, Joey, we got to go to commercial break. I didn't realize we're beyond here, so we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up quickly with our takeaway for the day. All right, so we're gonna end here. I'm gonna leave everybody with this. I drew this before this scene started. So this is a little diagram I was thinking about. 3 circles, okay? So here it is. So this is you, all right? This is you. These other 2 circles, that's you also 10 years from now. You make decisions. You make decisions. The truth is, we all can be, we can be someplace 10 years from now, all of us. You decide. Where do you want to be? And then you start making the little decisions to get there. Little decisions like reading every day, working out, eating right, studying, becoming a better actor every day. This is the thing. I can't teach here without bringing personal development into the equation, because I could kind of care less about you landing jobs. I just want you to be a better person. Because I know when you become a better person, you become a better actor, and you will get the jobs anyway. But I'm worried about just helping you get the job, you getting cocky and leaving, and it happens all the time. And those are the people I feel sorry for, because they crash and burn, they get depressed, they land a gig, and the other person talking about the gig they got 10 years ago. And it's very uninteresting. So each and every one of us, me included, we go, here I am. Where do I want to be 10 years from now? What are the decisions I'm making? I tell you guys, I taught yesterday all day, right? Went home, gave my heart out to my kids, passed out hard. It's Saturday sleepover, so I let the kids be in the bed. Because the kids were in the bed, woke up at 2:30, something like that. I sent these guys a text. I was on cloud 9. I've made a decision in my life that when I wake up, if I'm up anyway, why am I gonna waste it? I spent 6 hours this morning studying, working, getting excited about life. By the time my kids got up and my wife got up and these guys got up, I'm already rolling, you know? And I'm not tired right now because I'm doing what I love, what I'm passionate about, you know? So we can all be like that, but you gotta ask yourself, what do you do when that happens, when you get up? And it's so easy to go to the computer, to go to the show, to go to the whatever, you know? It's so easy, and I know it. It's easy to go to the food, it's easy to go to the whatever the addiction is. But if you want this, you want to be professional in anything, you'll get to go as far as you're willing to work. Whew, how's this feel? It was one of those light bulb moments for you. Here's the thing, every time you move, it's a move. Do whatever's necessary for the moment. Now I'm gonna do some directing, okay? That line's wrong. Let's get that pause out of there. Don't get yourself stuck in I have to do certain things. I'm very excited for you to have the chance to see where you were when you started the scene to where you are now. Literally, you just leveled up.
We are back. Excuse the echo, sorry about that. We were looking up Mark Ruffalo's credits to fact check our suspicions.
Yeah, Joey. Yeah, we were. Yeah, it's interesting. So it looks like his first credit is what,
1989.
1989. And when did he produce that? Now that might be when the audio was produced too. So you need to look up when he was in the show.
1996.
89, 96. Yeah, so he was probably a theater guy first. I mean, most great actors are in theater in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he was like probably worked his way up through theater, just did a few film gigs, and then sort of took off after that. That's cool.
And theater at the highest level is really great acting.
No,
You know, I know you know that. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people see, and we've talked about this, but like high school shows or musicals or whatever, and they're okay. But like you see people do them at the highest level, and you're like, oh, that is crazy good. Mm-hmm. So it makes a lot of sense.
Well, and it's the idea too that I like to say, which is there's no right way to get to wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
When he was doing that play, This Is Our Youth, he wasn't thinking to himself, this is my ticket to become a Marvel hero.
No.
No,
not at all.
All right, I got a quote here from Thomas Jefferson. It says,
Ooh.
do you want to know who you are? Don't ask, act.
Ooh.
Action will delineate and define you.
It's a good one.
You want to know who you are? Don't ask, act. So interesting. Like, for instance, okay, if I'm asking myself, am I a neat person? Am I somebody who is clean? Am I best to ask that question, or am I best to get my butt up and clean the house? Like take action. That's what Thomas Jefferson is saying. I got another quote here from Tony Robbins. Says, the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. So true. So think about this, right? So when's the right time to start acting? And it could be for anything, but we'll just talk about the acting profession. When is the time to start? Well, now, but what does that mean? It's like you're going to start a journey, and the journey is going to be never ending. It's like this thing where there's always more obstacles and more things, and there's something else to be had. Even the very last Rise of Skywalker we were just talking about, that was supposed to be the end, right? Like the end of everything.
Yeah.
She takes two sabers, and then she wraps them up nice and neat, and then she uses the Force, and they go down into the earth. And whoosh. But then she takes out another saber, and bzzz, and I forgot it. I forgot a lot of things, but I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what that represents. It was the yellow saber. I don't know what the yellow. We gotta get Jimmy on the show for some Star Wars. That would be fun.
I know very little from him talking about it, but basically the yellow is the most like rare saber.
Okay.
It's like the saber of balance, basically, because he wanted one really bad. That's the color he wanted, but it's like impossible to get one.
Got it. And Ray got that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So she buries the two. She has the other saber, the saber of balance. But why do you need a saber? Huh? Why do you need a saber?
Because eventually you're gonna need a savior.
They're gonna be.
Oh.
There you go. They're gonna be another battle.
Yeah.
Okay. And I ask this: why not just destroy the two sabers? Why not just take a hammer and just destroy them?
That would be foolish.
She buried it. So you would think that she buried it, and it's like she buried it deep in the ground, so that way it would be gone for forever. Well, no, she wrapped it nice and neat. Then she buried it, which means they're not really going to get hurt. They're just going to be like secure, and like no kid can find it.
That's the thing. It's when you need it, the Force will lead whoever there.
Right.
Right.
Therefore, the journey is always continuing. Even at the end, even when you get to the place that you were trying to get to, the journey then, in a lot of ways, has just begun, because now you're looking for your next obstacle.
Mm-hmm. Well, and to go even deeper on this whole idea, because you're right, Star Wars is very light and dark based, right? And it's this idea, I feel like, of that the enemy always comes back. That's just guaranteed. The enemy will always come back, and they'll find a different strategy. So knowing that is powerful, and being willing to accept that is powerful.
Yeah.
So not living in fear, she wasn't scared, but she was like, eventually the enemy will come back.
Right.
And we're going to need to do this whole thing again. And hopefully it's a little bit easier next time. Hopefully we have more people on our side next time.
Or she was like, I'm going to have 2 kids.
There you go.
And I want them each to have their own sabers. Because like it wouldn't be fair if only one kid got the saber and the other one didn't. So she's like, I was very bold.
I feel like that's your dad talking right there. Your inner dad. You would need 4 sabers here pretty quick. You know?
That's right. I need so many sabers. Because I need one too, of course. Otherwise, who's going to play with the kids?
Right?
All right. All right. So here's your big takeaway. Okay. When to start acting? Obviously now. You got to get over your excuses. You got to think to yourself, all right, when is it going to be convenient for me to start working on myself? Never. It's never going to be convenient. So you have to just do it. You got to just rip the Band-Aid and go, okay, if I'm thinking about starting, that means the journey has already begun.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like, am I willing to take the next step? And it doesn't mean you got to leap. It just means you got to take the next step. You just got to put one foot in front of the other. And once you're willing to do that, you've then started. You've started acting.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes. I want to say good morning to the Polos. I saw the Polos on there.
Yeah.
Good morning. Love seeing you on there. Love seeing the youth taking in the content. The Utes.
The Utes.
All right, so that's our show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're talking about actions all week. This week is all about action, so that's really good. Anything else, Joey?
Nope.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, help us spread this light-driven content to the planet. God bless.
Thanks for listening to Mornings with Matt. Please like, subscribe, and follow us at Deering Acting Studio to keep up with the latest content. For more information on classes, private lessons, or professional development coaching, visit www.deeringstudio.com. Have a Deering day, everyone.
Have a chippy day, everyone. Ruff.